All right. What's up, family? How you doing today? How's everybody doing? I hope everybody's well. Thank you for coming to the mathematical universe with your brother King Simon on this beautiful day of January the 16th. Happy birthday to my former wife. Today is her birthday. Wishing her a happy birthday wherever she is at this time. Happy birthday to Dr. Melanie Stevenson. Of course, you know Melanie Stevenson is doing her thing, keeping the legacy of Dr. Laila Africa going. Today is her birthday. Today is also Sade's birthday, the great soulful singer. Today is Sade's birthday, and hope everybody is doing well. And can you hear me in the live chat, whether you're on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, wherever you are? I hope everything is well. Would you please put in the number one if you could hear me? If you could put in the number one, that will be definitely helpful. If you can hear me in the chat, whether you're on Instagram, whether you're on YouTube. Put the number one in the chat if you can hear me. Thank you very much. Good day, good afternoon, good evening to everyone that's tuning in. Today, the topic is, has our aspirations grown into inspiration, leading us to the pathway of attaining alignment? That is the topic for today. Has our aspirations grown into inspiration, leading us to the pathway of attaining enlightenment? Very important topic, I feel, because a lot of us in the beginning of our life, we aspire to be something else, whether it's through what our families taught us. In the word aspiration means a hope or ambition of achieving something. Many of you might have wanted to become something in your life from the beginning. You might have wanted to become a lawyer, a doctor, a candlestick maker, whatever you wanted to become. So if you aspired to be something and, had a hope or an ambition of achieving something, what is that? What was it? What did you want to achieve in your life? And has it changed over the years? Because again, the topic is, has our aspiration grown into inspiration? Are you inspiration? The word inspirations or inspiration. Let me make sure that is correct. The word inspiration means the process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. What are we inspired to do? What is something that you're inspired to do now that the aspiration is a hope or ambition of achieving something? And has our aspiration grown into an inspiration of something that's creative? And is what you are inspired to do allowing you or leading you to the pathway of attaining enlightenment? The word attaining means succeed in achieving something that one desires and has worked for. And then, of course, the word enlightenment, the action of enlightening or a state of being enlightened. Because a lot of these things goes through us in different parts of our life and what we want to attain in our life. So that's why the topic today is, has our aspiration grown into inspiration, leading us to the pathway of attaining enlightenment? What say you, family? What has happened along your way? What has aspired you or inspiring you now that's leading you to the pathway of attaining enlightenment? Was it a book that you read? Was it someone that taught you something, that made you alert or aware of something? What is it? And how can we take what we've been aspired to do and what we've been enlightened to do, and how can you grow that aspiration into something that's going to lead you into the pathway of attaining what your enlightenment? So it's important that we define the words that we're talking about and be willing to unpack those words and grow beyond what we were taught over the years. Because the end game is enlightenment. And the word enlightenment, the action of enlightening or the state of being enlightened. The end game is to be enlightened, to be given some type of awareness and taking on something that's going to help us to attain or reach that point of enlightenment. And then after you get to your enlightenment, what do you do with your enlightenment? Do you teach? Do you guide? Do you show? Do you consult? Do you advise? What do you do with it? Because whatever you're enlightened to do, you're supposed to share it with others. That's why I do numerology in my own way, in my own perspective. I was aspired to be something else early on in my life, but now that my aspirations have grown up into an inspiration by watching and paying attention to my life unfold throughout the years, now through it attaining something that allowed me to be successful, but it also enlightened me to do something different than what I was doing on the stages, what I was doing on radio, what I was doing on television of my past. So I'm glad that it happened to the point that I can serve the greater community on a higher level. How are you serving the greater community, or at least your immediate community, in your own way? And are you happy? Are you satisfied with what you're doing? Are you satisfied with what you're doing? They used to say satisfaction. They used to say curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought them back. Curiosity killed the cat, but satisfaction brought him back. Are you satisfied with what you're doing from all the enlightenment out there? Because everyone have access to some form of enlightenment, whether it's through religion, whether it's through spiritual systems, everyone has access. But are you satisfied with what you have been accessed to and what you've been introduced to? Whether it's in Christianity, whether it's Islam, whether it's Hebrew, whatever it may be, whether it's from a numerovational perspective, whether it's from an astrological perspective, whether it's from any of the spiritual systems that you have heard about throughout your life. Are you satisfied? That's a question that you have to unpack for yourself. I, through what I do, can only give you bits and pieces through your numbers. Other people might do astrology. They can give you bits and pieces through the houses and your astrological sign. People practicing spiritual systems can give you bits and pieces, but at the end of the working day, are you satisfied? Ross Shiloh used to sing, "Are you satisfied? Are you satisfied? Am I satisfied?" And Bob Proctor, it was Bob Proctor that says, his grandmother used to say, "Be satisfied, be satisfied, be satisfied." And Bob said to his grandma, "No, Grandma, I shouldn't be satisfied. I should be grateful for what I have and what I've attained and what I've inspired to do and what I've aspired to do, but I should never be satisfied. I should always be willing to grow in my aspirations, my inspirations, and my attaining and my enlightenment. I should always be willing to grow to be my best self on a higher level, on a higher vibratory level, on a mathematical level, on an astrological level, on a spiritual level, on a physical level. A lot of people pay attention more to the physical when they want to work out their body and get their body fit and tight. But are you aspiring? Are you inspiring? Are you attaining? And are you enlightened on your spiritual journey? Because I won't say time is up. A lot of people say time is up and all that. No, time is not up. As long as time is still the element that we're flowing and growing through, it's still here. Still here, and we still can grow. As long as you're not caught up in any loop that's hindering you and stagnating you. That's the important part. Don't become stagnant. And are you willing to grow to be your best? And ask yourself in the mirror, what is your best? What is your best? Because you can always better your best, like Les Brown used to say. What is your best? I'm talking to you. What is your best? Do you think you've reached your best? I don't think I've reached my best. I am climbing to the best. I am thriving to my best, but I don't think I've reached my best because I know, and I say I know, I didn't say I believe. I know due to my own mathematical frequency or my numerovational frequency or my mathematical universe that I would get better in my older age just by knowing my numbers. I knew that. I used to say that to one or two of my ex-wives that I would get better in my age. In my early age, I was trying to figure it out. Although I love doing this, I love to sing, I love to dance. I used to love to get on stage and perform and all that kind of stuff as far as in the Caribbean world, the reggae world and all that stuff. But I knew that wasn't totally it. And sometimes you have to look at yourself and look into your eyes in a mirror and ask yourself, do some mirror meditations and look into your eyes until the tears start welding up in your eyes and saying, you know what? I got more to do before I leave this planet. And each one of you out there have more to do. That's why the question is, has our aspiration grown into inspiration, leading us to the pathway of attaining enlightenment? I'm enlightened. Sometimes I don't know what to do with the downloads and the uploads that I'm receiving. So I just do, I just become, I just walk it, I just keep on doing until it starts to form itself. It starts to form a book. It starts to form a class. It starts to form a workshop. It starts to form itself to be of help to other people. Even now, as I'm talking to you, I'm seeing and feeling other things. Is it because of the ending of Kali Yuga? It could be that. Is it because we're in and feeling the age of Aquarius? It could be that. Is it because we've transitioned out of Pisces and now Aquarius is in and we're going through a transition? It could be that. Is it because of what Dr. B says about the real Christmas and the energy and the flow? It could be that. It could be a multiplicity of things. Is it because we're entering the wood dragon year, the year of the dragon, which is under the wood? It could be that too, because there's a multiplicity of things that will be happening in this realm that can add to the enlightenment, the aspirations, to the inspiration, to the attaining of enlightenment. It's all happening, and it happens every day. Just like your blood flows through your body and goes through its purging throughout the heart, it happens all the time. Every 8 minutes and 20 seconds in the body. It happens all the time. The cells are rejuvenating itself all the time. So I'm not going to be here long. I just wanted to stress that the spiritual work is on and popping. And for you to understand what you aspire to become and what you're inspired to do and what you're attaining enlightenment from is very important for every man, woman, and child out there. And you see, I'm not hyped. I'm not talking loud. I'm not talking at the levels when I start breaking down numbers because I enjoy what I do. But I just wanted to come on to stress the importance of recognizing what you're aspired to do, because the word aspiration is a hope or an ambition of achieving something. Achieve something. And then that something can lead to another something, and that something can lead to another something. Be inspired. The process of being mentally stimulated to do or feel something, especially to do something creative. Be inspired. Allow yourself to be inspired. That's the word. Allow yourself to be inspired to become the great I am in your inspiration. Succeed in achieving something that one's desire and has worked for. Work at attaining it and holding on to it and keeping it. That's so important. And then be enlightened to do something with it, because enlightenment means the action of enlightening or a state of being enlightened. So if you're in that state, then you will take what you've enlightened to become or do, then you will pass it on to enlighten others. Give it out, circulate it, because that's what we're supposed to do. Circulate the energy. But I made sure that I wasn't going to be on here this long. I wanted to be on here and give something brief and strong to the brothers and sisters out here that need it. And don't be afraid to share this with other people. Don't be afraid to share it with other people. If you acknowledge what I'm saying in any capacity, whether I'm doing numerovation or not, share. Sharing is caring. And share with 5 new people. 5 is a power and refinement number. That's power, and we need to refine the power so that power can be effective. So the power can be effective. It's just like the 5 fingers turned into a fist. It becomes effective this way. 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 This way, tiger. It's effective in any different way. But let the 5 that you send it to, hopefully it can affect them to be their best self. Because I'm not going to be over here too long. I'm not going to break down too many. I'm not going to break down no numbers. I just wanted to share what came to me this morning as I was awakening, and the topic being, like I said, the topic itself being, has our aspiration grown into inspiration? Because we can aspire to be something as a child, and then over the years it grow up to be something of that's inspiring you and leading you into a pathway. That pathway is very important, because that pathway opens up, or it's something that's allowing you to walk that path, whether spiritual or physical, to attaining enlightenment. Very important to think like that and recognize that. And don't be afraid to be enlightened. Don't be afraid to be enlightened. Don't be afraid to be enlightened. It's all right. Don't be afraid to be enlightened. Don't be afraid. If that's what you love to do, the guitar and piano, don't be afraid. Because even the guitar and the piano needs to be tuned up. And sometimes Your aspirations and your inspirations need to be tuned up so you can walk the pathway, so you can understand your walk. And sometimes we get weary. Sometimes we get weak along the path. It's all right to get weak along the path. I have gotten weak along the path to the point I start crying. And then I need to cry to release that weaknesses, because we got to manage the weaknesses and strengthen the strength. I don't care if you're 100 years old. You got things to do. Some people have gone to reach 100 and still was doing something. And then there's some people that reaches that age of 100, that one of those ripe old age of Methuselah, and still has something to do. And if you don't have nothing to do in this realm, they have something to do in the next realm. And the continuation continues. I know I'm going to come back and help my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren and great-grand with the information I have, because when they look at the back of all my books, they're going to see granddad smiling at them. They're going to see granddad smiling at them in their face and saying, "You'll be all right. All you have to do is smile and be jovial and laugh it through like your granddad did." When they read about their grandfather or their great-grandfather, they're going to see. They're going to see. They're going to see. They're going to be enlightened in the year 3000, in the year 4000, in the year 5000. They're going to be enlightened, because it's going to be a part of their blood, their DNA, to be enlightened. The number D, the letters D and A and R and A has a mathematical frequency. And when you look up the mathematical frequency to D, N, and A, that adds up to a number 10, which is the wheel of fortune energy. So if it's in your DNA from your grandparents to have that wheel of fortune of accomplishment and being willing to accomplish anything you want, then it will happen. Even your RNA, there's a mathematical vibration behind the RNA. Adds up to a number 8 in the Chaldean system. I'm doing both of them Chaldean system because that is the older, most esoteric system there is. And it adds up to a number 8. So it gives you that erected infinity symbol dealing with the RNA, and you got the DNA. Now, when you add the RNA and the DNA, when you add that 10 plus the 8, that equals 18. 18 equals 9. 9 deals with that universal higher level of understanding, and love frequency. So DNA and RNA equals the 18, which is the love frequency. And it's the number of the 18 is the number of the moon of inspiration, intuition. So your DNA and your RNA, not breaking down the full scientific word of it, but what is being said the most, you use the Chaldean system of what's been said the most. And it's leading you to something. It's leading you to something that's in your DNA and your RNA. Whatever you're doing, remember the song, "Do it till you're satisfied." Whatever it is, you got to do it. Do it to the morning. Come and do it, baby. Do it till you're satisfied. And y'all know I can sing. I just didn't, and that was one of my aspirations, but because of the business and its madness, and I didn't want to go down the madness of it, being robbed in the first initial part of it, I left it alone. I can sing. I can sing. I've been number 5 on the reggae chart as a singer or a sing J. So I can do it. But that was one of my aspirations that had grown into an inspiration, because I've taken the vibratory energy of singing and let the songs inspire me to write. Let the songs inspire. That's why I've done the singing stuff. I've done the DJing and the reggae stuff, but then I went to radio to inspire with those music around me, sharing what I've grown up to love, but not loving it to the point that I became successful in that way. So I did it in another way. So I had to reinvent and realign myself to do it in an inspirational way. So anytime you heard me on radio, whether it was WWRL or working through WLIB or helping other people on WPAT or WVIP or WNWK, I was always inspiring people through music and with my energy of inspiration. And all of that has helped me along the way to my pathway of attaining enlightenment. All right, so you learn, you earn, and you return it to yourself. George Frazier used to say that, motivational speaker. You learn what you have to learn throughout your life. You earn what you have to earn throughout your life, but then you return it to yourself. You return it to your family. You return it to your community. You return it to the world. And that's what I am doing through the books that I've written and that I'm still writing more. All of that is very important. So on that note, family, thank you very much for tuning in. Everybody on Instagram, everybody on Twitter, everybody on Facebook, thank y'all very much. On my YouTube channels, thank y'all very much for tuning in and staying locked in. And remember, ask yourself the question, has your aspirations grown into inspiration, leading you to the pathway of attaining enlightenment? All right? Take care. Be safe. Be focused. Be structured. Be disciplined. And remember, tomorrow, I will be interviewing this beautiful sister, Mama Ella. Not only is she a holistic practitioner, she's also a spiritual medium. So we'll be getting it in tomorrow. And then her and our great brother, the one, the only Professor Smalls, will be in Nicholas on the 20th. Her and Professor Smalls will be in Nicholas on the 20th. Make sure you show them love. On the 21st, I will be interviewing Brother Reggie, one of Professor Small's students, Dr. J, Dr. Jeffrey's students, Dr. John Henry Clark, Professor Dr. Ben. He'll be on History is Best Qualified to Reward Our Research. On the 27th, we have Dr. Laila Africa Tribute to the Pay Tribute, presents Pay Tribute to Dr. Laila Africa. This will be a call-in and a StreamYard link show if you want to tell and share your experience with Dr. Africa's books or with Dr. Africa himself. On the 28th, I got a double header. Early that afternoon, the first, we have Kendall. So Kendall Cobb and I will be sipping tea and talking hypnotherapy on YouTube and other apparatuses at 1 o'clock on the 28th. And then I have Destiny Pendarvis from Egyptian Eyes Boutique in Smyrna, Georgia. She's an intuitive life coach and crystal advisor. She'll be on at 7 p.m. that evening. The Power of Inner Growth. If you're in Toronto, Canada, Can You Hear Us Now? Event series presents Professor Jane Small on February the 1st in Toronto, Canada, at Danford Avenue, Toronto, Canada, at the Buchan Restaurant. Professor Jane Smalls will be there from 7 to 10 p.m. on February 1st, my birthday, my born day. Dr. Professor and Professor James Smalls will be there. Atlanta, I'm bringing Professor James Smalls for 2 nights only, 2 days only. You're gonna see the professor. Spiritual Warrior Edition. 2 days in Atlanta, a public event, Saturday, April the 6th, and then a private all-day event only for 33 people will be allowed at that event. Only 33 people will be allowed at the private event. Secret location. I haven't put up the link yet at StreamYard. I'll be putting up 2 different links for the public event and the private event. And that private event is when there's going to be an all-day private, no holds bar, no videotape, no audio tape, phones turned off, private symposium, all day Q&A with Professor James Smalls from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's going to be in Atlanta. 2 different locations. One might be in Atlanta, one might be in another location. The private event is going to be in a private location somewhere else, but it won't be too far from Atlanta. If you want to go to Jamaica to experience a returning home within wellness retreat for mental health professionals, therapists, and healers, contact this beautiful sister, Nina Love. I will be having Nia Love on my show in February. So look out for that. Get your early bird tickets right now. Go and put down and hit up her traveljoy.com /bookings/ whatever is after that. Okay. So make sure you check that out. Remember Baba Africa. Today is Dr. Melanie's birthday. So make sure you hit her up and support, get the books. That's layelaafrica.com, layelaafrica.com. If you want to take my webinar, Applied Numerovation, it's already taped. This was live, but it's taped. And if you want to get it, all you have to do is send 55 circulation via PayPal or Cash App, and I will send you the link through your email, but you got to put your email in the Cash App and PayPal description or comment section. All right. Support Carrie Ann Ingram at carrieanningram.com and Linktree / Carrie Ann Ingram. Lloyd Strayhorn, hit him up at lloyd-strayhorn.com, 800-581-4400. My audiobook is coming out towards February or March. Audiobook is coming out. So look out for that. That's going to be a powerful book. 2 of these books are coming out. More than likely, I'm going to put out one first and then the other one after. Or I might put out both of them. But if you want to get any of my books, purchase it via Amazon.com or go to Linktree / King Simon, the Numerovator. If you want to book a session with me, text me your full name and date of birth, 347-496-1022. On February 1st, the circulation price goes up. Only $36 for the 30 minutes. And then I'm going to reopen the hour sessions that cost a certain circulation also. All right. Accept what is, let go of what was, and have faith in what will be. And like Dr. B. Sirius says, I forgive myself, my family, and others for imperfection. And I am thankful for my life. And like Dr. Blair says, please, universal creator, know in my heart that I love you. Please protect me and this planet on which I live now. Please open my mind, my spirit, and my soul to receive only truth in your love now. Thank you once again, family, for tuning in and locking in. Next Tuesday, more than likely, I'll do the phone, or within one of these days, I might do the phone, open up the phone so we can talk and we can break it down and have some fun, donation driven. You know how we do, and have a good time. And so please take care of yourself. And thank you for tuning in to King Simon Presents Only Quality People and the Numerovation Nation. All right. Peace and love. Take care. Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed. It's the Numerovational session with King Simon. Text your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. That's 347-496-1022. And get my books on Amazon now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and the powerful. When in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%, the poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class.